Welcome back, everybody, to the second part of the ECL Procast here at Sports Gamer GG. I am Tegan, it's King Lion Blair, and I'm joined by the best analyst, Brandon B. Major Bigsby. And Brandon, we've got a couple of bangers coming to you after we just had a couple of great games.
Yeah, you're going to make me blush a little bit with comments like that line, but hey, man, we had a great first two games. I mean, Visu and Powerhouse, pretty much everything that we expected between two teams that were really close together in the standings. But now we have a team that has been dominant and pretty much just put themselves in that number one spot, and a team that is good and was one of the better teams in Pro last season, but is struggling a little bit more this season, trying to get on that right track going into the playoffs. And that's if they make the playoffs. They're not totally clear. So RCTIC and Reality Check going to be a really fun series between two of the Pro Division's top teams coming into the season.
Reality Check finally, after a long season here in the ECL Pro, got their first regulation loss, as they have really been carrying on. But we're going to slow down on these two teams a bit, pump the brakes, and jump into our latest results here, as we have a lot on the board, which is going to change our standings, Brandon.
Yeah, and we're going to probably get a look at those standings here in a bit, but we talked about how there were so many results that could really kind of change and shift the way things have gone. Well, you're kind of seeing that right here. Obviously, we covered the matchup on the top of your screen, Visu and Powerhouse HC. Visu getting 2 points, Powerhouse getting 3, so Powerhouse going to have that 1 point advantage in their group. But on the bottom, a few other results that we're seeing coming in. Hana HC splitting with Huckerdit, and then Nemesis beating Hawaii Hockey. That's a series that determines a few playoff berths. Versus Hawaii Hockey, they're on the outside looking in their group. So there's a few different matchups that we said could maybe change the way things go. We're already seeing that here through the first hour and change of coverage.
Well, it is going to be very, very tight. We know our standings are tight as we go over to the standings for Group 1 here, Brandon. And other than Reality Check, it's pretty tight on that left-hand side with Hawaii Hockey and the Garden Hockey knocking on the door.
Yeah, and we talked about Hawaii Hockey dropping that first game that they did versus Nemesis, and that's why that's so big, because they were only a point behind Salkov and Studded for that 8th spot, 1 game and 2 points. Now, not only do they have one more game played, but they're still 2 points behind, so there's a lot of work to be done there. But like you said, on that left side of the board, after Reality Check, things are so tight from the bottom on down, and it's why RCTIC really needs to find a way to win a couple of points here in this series. Obviously, it's no easy task going against the Reality Check team. It's probably been the best team in the Pro Division, but RCTIC is a team that had championship aspirations coming into the season, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. So a little bit maybe down for them being that 6th spot in their group. Gonna hope that they can maybe get some points and go up as high as 3rd if they can get 3 or 4 points here in this matchup.
You see our two teams that we are going to watch on the left-hand side, Reality Check and RCTIC. Both of them can score goals, which is going to make this set of 2 games a very, very good one as we hop over to the standings in Group 2 to see what changed over there after our first games from Powerhouse and Visu Gaming.
Yeah, not all of the scores in yet. Only that game 1 is in, where Visu Gaming won it 2-1 in overtime. So Powerhouse will get 2 points and move up to 4th, while Visu would be down to 5th. So still a couple of things still to change there, but it's big that both of them were able to pick up a few points. Obviously, Visu would have loved to have gotten to 4. Powerhouse would have loved to have gotten to 4. But nevertheless, both of them getting about as many points as they could have in this one, kind of separating themselves a little bit from Renescore and Yoku in 7th and 8th. So, maybe they didn't get all 4, but both of those teams benefited a little bit from that series. And all you can ask at this time of year is getting as many points as you can despite the results.
Well, Brandon, it is going to be a tight matchup in Group 1 is what we are going to focus on today as we pop over to our team matchup. And the goals for are pretty even, but the goals against, not so much.
Yeah, and it's actually a very solid testament to RCTIC and what they've been able to do on the offensive end. Only 10 less goals than a Reality Check, but it's on the defensive end where things, like you said, take that little bit of a differential. 54 goals allowed for RCTIC, 33 allowed for Reality Check, which, by the way, we did a little research and found an interesting stat. Last season in the Pro Division, they led the league in goals allowed per game. This season, they lead the league in goals allowed per game. So for 2 straight seasons, they have been the best defensive team in the ECL Pro Division. Arctic have been a good scoring team the last couple of seasons, but they're going to have to face a mighty test on the other side of the team in the black and yellow.
Their defense has been impeccable, as you see even their penalty kill, Brandon, at a whopping 88.5%. So why don't we head over and take a look at who is going to be playing for these respective teams. As Arctic on your left-hand side, at center is going to be Yordiu, on left wing Limbe, on right wing Naiku, and on the back end Mr. Nipsili with JX Layout, and in between the pipes, one of my favorite names, Use and Cisco. Brandon, on the right-hand side, we are familiar with these guys as well. Who's going to be suiting up tonight for reality check?
Yeah, a lot of familiar names we've called before on both of these sides, but reality check no different, as it's Tunkelia at left wing, Jesse in the middle between him and the two wingers at center, Pursuti at that right wing spot, and then the two defensemen, Mecox and Kim Johan, and then last but not least, the excellent goalie between the pipes, Finn Sede for reality check. And like we mentioned, Tegan, there's a lot of names we've called a few times. All of these guys can make a big play at any point.
And we are going to have another matchup, Brandon, where the centermen have less than 1% face-offs against each other.
Yeah, and we saw that could kind of impact things in the matchup between the two centers in our first matchup. It could very well be the same here in this one, as Yuryu coming back for RCTIC for another season has been very solid, 31 points in 22 games. But I want to talk about Jesse a little bit. He's a guy that came into reality check this season, making the fill-in for Proarska, who moved on, and he's come in and has fit in seamlessly. We talked about amazing rookies here in the Pro Division. Jesse has been one of them, coming up from the Light Division, and he has been stellar for this reality check team down the middle. Do not be shocked if he comes in and makes a few plays here for this team, because he is a guy that can come in and mean a lot here.
And we're going to take a look at our wingers here, Brandon, where we get to see our first placed Limbe with 34 goals leading the league and 49 points, which ties him for first.
Yeah, we go from one or two top goal scorers to the other. Obviously, we saw Mikumi Stari in the opening game, who was one of the better scorers. We saw Burrito Kuningas, who was 28 goals, and now we get to see another leading goal scorer, like you mentioned, in Limbe. So plenty of goal-scoring punch here that we're seeing on the day's broadcast. And on the other side, do not doubt Tunkelia and Pursuti, 21 goals and 23 goals for those two guys apiece. So we're seeing a lot of guys that can put the puck in the net and do it a lot. It's going to be interesting to see if we see more of a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game, because the defenses for both of these two sides are up to the task as well.
As Tunkelia, very dangerous. You're right, Brandon. He is tied third for points, only 2 points behind Limbe. So a lot of action we expect in this game, but not if these D-men look to shut things down. As on the left-hand side, Mr. Nipsuli and JX Layout going against Mecox and Kim Johan, Brandon, where Mecox and Kim Johan are both having very good seasons, respectively.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking past the two goaltenders, who we'll get to talk about here in a minute, this matchup right here could very well be where these games are won and lost. Obviously, for Arctic, Mr. Nipsuli coming over from Fediastad last season, a team that made the semifinals in the Elite Division, comes over to Arctic, was one of the more notable acquisitions of the transfer period in the Pro Division. He's been outstanding for this Arctic team, and then obviously Layout coming back, another outstanding season for him. And then we talked about reality check, how amazing they've been defensively last season and this season. These two guys, Mecox and Kim Johan, have led that. Mecox, the guy that came up from the core division and has done well for this team, so it's going to be fun to see how they can impact this game.
Well, we'll pop up a quick look at the goaltenders here, Brandon, as we have Yusin Cisco going against Vincere.
Yeah, and Vincere, the first thing that pops out to you, 7 shutouts for him this season. And when you have a record like reality check has, no shock at all. It started every single game for this team this season, but a great goalie on the other side. Yusin Cisco has plenty of big saves of his own. These two guys, we said, could be the big key to see where this game goes if the defensemen don't take it over.
7 shutouts is a big number. We'll see if Vincere can build on that, Brandon, as it sounds like both teams are about ready to go here as we get down to ice level, and we've got some matching, and hopefully we see some big moments in this game, some big goals. We have some high leading point scores, and you can get in and make some big goals and big moves in our in our e-hockey moments on Twitter is maybe some funny stuff, maybe some great goals, maybe some big hits can win you some IQ fuel, Brandon.
Yeah, and maybe a few moments will come from our Wilhelm e-hockey tour that we kind of saw teased there for just a second. Is make sure you sign up for that, a 10,000 euro prize pool, 2 to 4 players. Anyone in the light division down or not signed up for ECL is eligible for this tournament. So if you have a few buddies, you're looking to win a little bit of money and play the game you love to play, make sure you go to sportsgamer.gg and sign up for that amazing tournament. Maybe there'll be a few moments in there as well that you can post and win yourself some cans of fuel there as well.
SportsGamer GG doing it all. Is here. Me and Brandon are doing it for the ECL Pro Division every Tuesday. As you can find us here. As now we have RCTIC going against Reality Check. Will Reality Check carry on their amazing streak of wins and stay in first place, or will it be RCTIC who gets in the way? As Pursuti tries to bring that one in for Reality Check. It's going to be taken away. You see your respective lineups in the bottom left-hand corner and right-hand corner of your screen. Reality Check in the gorgeous black and yellow with RCTIC in that real nice blue and white. As that puck's up to Pursuti. Coming in early, and he fires one on and testing Houston Cisco very quickly.
Yeah, and Reality Check, they're a team that despite their great efforts defensively, they can attack and get on you on the offensive end. They're one of those teams where you blink for a second and all of a sudden there's a fury of chances for them. You kind of see that right there, just 2 minutes in and already a dangerous chance on Houston Cisco.
Reality Check is going to look to keep those shots on. Pursuti down to Toon Kelly. He's tripped up, and we're going to see a power play early in the game here for Reality Check.
Yeah, they get in the offensive zone early, they get a chance, they get another opportunity, and they turn it into a power play opportunity for their team. This is just what Reality Check does. They play stout defense, but they will hem you in your own zone as well. And, we talk about how defense can be so great. Well, sometimes the best defense can be offense, generating that offense, not allowing your opposition to get out of their own zone. Reality Check doing that here early.
Pursuti gets that one back to Meekax and down and around. Behind the net is Jesse to Toon Kelly. Toon Kelly just setting things up, goes back to the point. Meekax drops that one down to Jesse, pass out front. What a quick touch that finds Toon Kelly, and Reality Check is on the board.
And they wasted no time doing those there, Lime. As you can see, Reality Check got on the attack early, found a way to get some chances, got the power play, and then capitalized not even a full minute in. We said RCTIC was going to have their hands full. We see why in the first 4 minutes alone as Reality Check gets their going started early and are up 1-0.
Brandon, I'm not sure if that was a poke check behind the net or a correct pass, but nonetheless, it was tape to tape on to Toon Kelly's stick, and it's an early goal. As RCTIC just wraps that one around in the neutral zone. Yuryu trying to get it in. He can't get past the centerman Jesse, and Jesse throws that back to Meekax, who works the puck out. It's given away, though, right under the stick of Limbe, looking back door for Naiku, but he couldn't connect the pass. Naiku holds the puck and shoots, backdoor, rebound, and a huge goal for Yuryu.
A huge goal and a bigger response from Yuryu. That's exactly what RCTIC needed. We know how dangerous Reality Check are when they can get that lead because they are so stout defensively, but you love to see RCTIC being aggressive, making sure they got that goal back and didn't let Reality Check do what they did to start this game out, which was getting the offensive attack and him RCTIC in their own zone. It's a great play, a great goal, and just like that, we're tied yet again.
It's a 1-1 game. It's early, Brandon. If you blink, you would have missed it. Is Limbe coming in down the left-hand side for RCTIC. Back to the point of Mr. Nipsili. Puts that one on. Easy save there for Fincere, and he's just going to hold on.
Yeah, and I don't blame him on that one. As Fincere, we mentioned how good he's been. 7 shutouts in his 24 games. Well, he might not get one in this opening game 1, but he's a guy that has plenty of big saves in his back pocket. That's one right there. We'll see if he can make another.
Keep trying to wrap that one around. It's going to be taken out by Toon Kelly, the goal scorer for Reality Check, but he's stuffed in the neutral zone, and Mr. Nipsili goes to his partner, JX Leo, and RCTIC works it out on the breakout. Yuryu, good pass up to Limbe. Limbe, good drop back to the point, but it's going to be taken away by Toon Kelly, who starts out for Reality Check. Toon Kelly gets an errant pass back onto his stick, and Kim Johan helps out in puck support. It's a good battle in the offensive zone is won by RCTIC, and they get it out. Here's Naiku dumping the puck in right-hand side. First to the puck is Reality Check, and Meatcax works it out on the breakout. Over to Kim Johan. That is everybody offside, and Reality Check having a little bit of a hard time breaking the trap here, Arctic.
Yeah, Arctic kind of pushing back after that opening response there. And, it's interesting. We saw Reality Check the first few minutes. The first thing they did was break past that trap, and it ended up getting them an opportunity. They got on the power play and scored that goal. But ever since that point, they haven't been able to find any success on getting into the offensive zone. And maybe we're seeing Arctic maybe get something going. If they can play like this, they can very well keep this a close game and 2 close games as well.
It's going to be brought out here by Arctic on the breakout. It starts with JX layout. He tries to go up the right-hand side. Toon Kellia picks that pass off, gets it over to Kim Johan, who tries to move it in through Jesse, but Jesse has to go back to the D-man, and it's poked off, and here goes Naiku for Arctic. Naiku, alone shot on him, Finsere with a great save.
We just said that Finsere had a few big saves in his back pocket, and that was one of them right there. It was a great chance there for Arctic and Naiku, but just a better save, great positioning there from Finsere to kind of read that without knowing where it was going.
Naiku picks that puck up on the faceoff out front to Limbe. He's bumped off. Great defense there by Reality Check. It's probably saving a goal as Toon Kelly in pursuit. He tried to go 2-on-1. Shot is on. Rebound for Jesse, and 2 huge saves for Use and Cisco. Kim Johan over to Meatcax. He tries to go up the right-hand side. That one's picked off by JX Layout, who goes over to Nipsuli. Nipsuli tries to bring that one in. Toon Kelly with a great job there at the blue line. Shutting down on the defense, but another poke check. And Brandon, that's happening often here as we're going to see a power play for Arctic, but Kim Johan's having a hard time getting it out that boards with the poke checks coming fast from the forward check of Arctic.
Yeah, we kind of talked about Arctic struggling a little bit defensively for what maybe some expected them to, but so far in this game, a solid defensive effort, especially on that breakout of Reality Check, like you mentioned, really making that right side think a little bit. Now it rewards themselves with a power play. We'll see if they can maybe take advantage. Number 1 in their group at a power play at 34.88%.
If they can raise that number up against a penalty kill that is 88.5% here, Brandon. So the best going against the best here. Puck's brought in by Yuryu. Just setting up at the line, goes back to JX layout, and here's the setup for Arctic. It starts at the point through JX. Back over, downloaded Limbe. They hit him backdoor with that same side one-timer. Can't connect. Another backdoor play goes off the centerman Yuryu and into the corner. Mr. Nipsuli to Limbe, trying to force that puck out front. It does get out front to Naiku, but he's bumped off of the puck, and it's back to JX, who fires one on. Finsere with a nice, easy save. Arctic just trying to put the puck on net here. JX fires. That one's off a post and wide. JX back down to Naiku, who feeds back to the point. And that does it for the power play. So a great penalty kill and lots of shots on here for the power play, Brandon.
Yeah, Arctic might have not found a game-leading score in that power play, but a great attack there that they had. Didn't let Reality Check clear it once, and now they might get another chance here.
Good shot on by Naiku, looking for a rebound, looking for those greasy goals as they know Finsere has great goaltending numbers here, Brendan.
Yeah, we talked about how great Finsere was with those shutouts, with that high save percentage mark, a little bit over 83%. And interestingly enough, Reality Check, he has started every game for this team so far this season. So not only is he putting up big numbers, but it's not on a small sample size. He has been in every single game between the pipes for this team and is one of the big reasons for their success. But, Tegan, Arctic pushing back a little bit here. 8 shots on that, a little bit of time on attack after that unfortunate start where they had the power play lit up and then Reality Check scored on it. Ever since that point, feels like it's been all Arctic here in this game.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? As the shots are 8-3, and I don't think Reality Check's too used to that, Brandon.
No, not at all. I think they're the ones used to dominating on the defensive end and not allowing a team to get into the offensive zone. But Arctic, they've kind of found a way to break the puck in and get it past the blue line, while on the other end, Reality Check struggling a little bit more on their breakout after the first 4 or 5 minutes. So we'll see what adjustments they make. But I think if you're Arctic, you're feeling pretty good about where you are against one of the top teams.
3 more, Brandon, as we start out the second period here at Sports Gamer GG. And the ECL Pro as we get a tip off the bar. Finsere going to hold on to that. You saw your respective lineups in the bottom left and right-hand corner of your screen. And that's a great start for Arctic.
Yeah, and they're just continuing where they left off in that first period, getting in the offensive zone, finding a way to break it in, and using that opportunity to set up in the offensive zone and get some chances. They're not going to be able to sustain that, but reality check, going to try to find a response.
Back to Kim Johan. Jesse trying to force that one through the middle. Good job by RCTIC, not only in the offensive zone, but in the defensive zone as well, Brandon. As Nipsuli tries to carry that one in to get things going, but it's offside.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting to see who can get this next goal. As you have to remember, we're tied 1-1. Obviously, reality check, their place in the playoffs is all but confirmed, and maybe even their spot in first place pretty much confirmed as well. But we talked about RCTIC still out to play for. Their place in the playoffs, not safe. And this is a team that came in with the expectation to kind of be around where reality check is right now with a championship aspiration. So, you know, a lot to play for RCTIC. We're kind of seeing that here, what this game means to them with the way they're playing.
So rings that one around down low. That one's put off the back of the net, and Mikax gets that easily over to his partner, Kim Johan. Back to Mikax. Goes up to Toon Kelly, a left-hand side to Pursuti. Oh, lots of time and space, but he runs right into Nipsuli. Not used to seeing this offense from reality check, as it's been more RCTIC, like Brandon said in this hockey game. Toon Kelly, the goal scorer for reality checks, throws that one over to Pursuti. Pursuti poke checked off with a great play by JX layout. And Limbe works that over to Nipsuli, and RCTIC comes up the right-hand side, throws that one down. Will it be icing? No, as RCTIC beats it, as reality check probably wanting that momentum, but a great job by RCTIC to beat out the icing call.
Yeah, you know, you don't talk about hustle in virtual hockey all the time, but it can come into play on plays like that. That's a huge change because reality check has struggled getting in the offensive zone. That offensive face-off getting the icing would have maybe helped them do that right there.
That could change the momentum in a hockey game, is that type of icing in the face-off win, Brandon, but it is going to be turned around. And reality check's going to try and work the puck out. Kim Johan over to Toon Kelly. Toon Kelly walks the line, but he gives it right to Limbe. And reality check, with 10 minutes into the second period, Brandon has not entered the zone yet.
Yeah, it's been very slow going, a stagnant attack so far for reality check, and you've kind of said this a few times, we're not really seeing the type of game from them that we're used to seeing. Is even some of the passes like that, just a little bit off on the breakout. They can't seem to break past that blue line. Have to give a lot of credit to RCTIC on the way they played defensively, and not only that, but their ability to get into the offensive zone and kind of hem reality check a little bit more.
Going in a playoff matchup here wouldn't be a bad one, as these two teams battling right now, as JX Leia working the puck out for RCTIC. Carrying it through the neutral zone. Now the trap is strong, and Toon Kelly tries to get it into the zone to Jesse. Jesse has a poke checked off his stick, but Kim Johan's there in good puck support. Gets it back to his partner Mikax, and he just slows things down and works it out again. Puck up to Toon Kelly, over to Pursuti. Pursuti has it poke checked by his stick by Nipsuli. And Nipsuli battling in the left-hand side, but finally, reality check gets it back to the point and work out. Shot is on by Pursuti, and a great shot at that in the slot there, and what a save by Houston Cisco.
And that was pretty close there, Tegan, because Houston Cisco pretty deep in his net, and that puck went right on the end of his path there from what it looked like from our view. Very close to maybe being a goal, and how crushing would that have been for RCTIC after all that attack.
Reality check. They are buzzing now in the offensive zone on the right-hand side. Jesse back to Mikax. Down low to Toon Kelly. Good puck movement here as it's down low for Pursuti. Pursuti gets it back to Toon Kelly, who moves it back to the point. Activating from the point here is Mikax. But he's not able to get it through the middle, and Naiku gets it ahead. But they are offside now, so a little bit of role reversal here, Brandon.
Yeah, and you know, the last 5 or 6 minutes I've kind of been looking, and we're starting to see reality check do what they do well a little bit better here in this game. They had that really strong trap there on the blue line where RCTIC wasn't able to get things going, and then they turned that into a turnover and got into the offensive zone and got some chances. So reality check maybe starting to turn the tide. If you're RCTIC, you might want to try to get a goal here, because if reality check gets this next one, it can really turn the momentum away from RCTIC now.
Kelly gets that one ahead to Pursuti. Pursuti back to Toon Kelly. He's got the lone goal for reality check, but he can't hold on to the puck. Jesse puts one on. Good save by Houston Cisco. He hasn't been tested much this period, but when he has, he's made great saves.
Yeah, you know, and when he has been tested, it's also been a pretty high danger chance, as he's had to be sharp on most of these opportunities. But we're seeing reality check once again. Stellar defense, turning it into good offense, starting to look more like the team we expected them to be going in.
Pursuti holds the puck at the top of the circle, goes back to Mikax. Good wrap around to Toon Kelly. as the puck movement is working well here. That shot on by Kim Johan is blocked, and it's a 3-on-2 the other way for Arctic. Yoryu fires, and that one sails wide, and that takes us to our intermission.
Yeah, and despite not getting any goals there in that second period, we saw a lot of action. Arctic with a vast majority of the attack time and offensive opportunities, but the last few minutes, the tables turned a little bit, Tegan. You kind of mentioned it. Reality Check becoming a little bit more better defensively, is starting to get a little bit more offensive time, and you see that in the stats a little bit. Pretty even for the most part, despite Arctic just having a little bit more of time on attack. So a bit of a clean slate going into this third period. It's going to be interesting to see who can kind of take that momentum and get that game-tying goal first.
As we get a look here from the goal from Reality Check, as they're showing us, I believe it was a poke check, Brandon. So it is a 1-1 hockey game. There's your goal from Arctic, as that's a great play, a grinding goal.
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time, but goals don't have to be pretty. They don't ask how you get them in. They just ask how many you got in, and you kind of saw that with both of those goals. Maybe not the prettiest goals in the world, but if it works, it works. They all count the same on that scoreboard. It's a 1-1 result, and we'll see if maybe Wanty seems to get one more. Let's try to take them.
Period number 3 here in our game number 1 between these two respective teams. You just saw their lineups in the bottom left and right hand corner of your screen. Arctic in white, Reality Check in the dark black and yellows. As the puck's going to be moved out here by Reality Check. Tunkelia back over to Pursuti, trying to give and go, but can't get it in, as it's been great defense by Arctic here. Tunkelia brings it into the slot, but the poke check by Yoryu puts it into the left-hand corner, and that gives Arctic an opportunity to break the puck out. They try to bring that in, but it's a step offside.
With 16:51 to go, obviously we're in the third period, still a 1-1 game, and now you kind of start to wonder a little bit if maybe that next goal, with the way that the pace this game is played out, maybe if that could be the goal that decides this. When we saw it in our first game between Visu and Powerhouses, there is one for Arctic, Tegan. They wasted no time.
That is a massive goal for none other than league-leading Limbe, as he puts that one in for his 35th of the season, and that one goes bar down, and what a gorgeous goal that is. You can't give Limbe that much space.
Yeah, and it's not often you see a goal right-handed, right side, but Limbe crossing over from that left wing, going through the slot, kind of going more to the right side of the ice, and he just beefing Sede on that one. I know he probably would love to have that one back, but unfortunately, there's no rewind button, and Arctic taking their first lead of the game. We said that next goal could be big. We'll see if they can take advantage of it.
He's trying to get past Mikax, but he can't do it, but he gets it in the offensive zone. Good passing as it goes around the outside, but it's going to be a 2-on-1 the other way. Tunkelia with Pursuti fires it on, and a great pad save by Houston Cisco, sorry. As that shot is on, bounced off a few bodies. It's going to be a 3-on-1 the other way. Naiku could pass over, tried to fit back to Naiku, and a big save by Fincere. As what a give and go that was, Brandon.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play, and Arctic still on the attack. Absolutely relentless so far in the offensive zone.
Brought out by Reality Check. They are down 1 goal in this hockey game. It's a good job at the line by Arctic. Pursuti is going to try to reset there. He gives it away to Limbe, and here goes Arctic on the offense. Naiku on the right-hand side. Great defense by Mikax. He could possibly get an odd man rush here, but there is step offside.
Yeah, you kind of hope for Reality Check that they can maybe find that offensive game that we saw them kind of pick up on at the end of that second period. But Arctic, ever since start of third, they've gotten right back to it. They've been hitting them in their own zone, and they haven't allowed Reality Check to really get a lot of opportunities offensively for themselves. And having the lead up by 1 now, you'd assume that really go to advantage. If they can get one more goal, you got to like their chances.
Look at the point. Is going to be held in. Tunkelia down to Jesse. Great poke check there by the winger in Limbe, coming back and helping out his defense, and we might have a break here. Naiku coming down the right-hand side. Nice L-skating. Tried to backhand that one on, but Mikax, great defense for Reality Check, and they try to ring that one around to Pursuti and get things going quickly. Can't get through the defense of JX layout in Arctic, so they send it back out to the neutral zone to give Reality Check another try. Mikax resets that one over to Johan, who goes up the left-hand side. Great pick-off by Limbe, as Limbe not just an offensive winger. He's showing he's very defensive as well. Tunkelia moving that one ahead to Jesse, but he can't get in. It's this defense, JX layout and Nipsuli have been fantastic here for Arctic. Puck dumped into the right-hand side. First to it is Tunkeliya. He stops up, looking for a lane. Goes back to the point. He retrieves the puck back. Tunkeliya puts that one on. Easy save for Houston Cisco as he's holding his post. Good job by Tunkeliya to poke that one away. Passing in a phone booth on the right-hand side. Finally getting that back to the point. As Jesse rips it around. Tunkeliya the wraparound. He get it on, but Houston Cisco was there. That one trying to be held in at the line, but it's going to be given away to Limbe. Limbe coming down for RCTIC. Stops up, waits for his mates, takes it into the left-hand corner. Puck jarred loose here by RCTIC. It's fierce back and forth hockey here, Brandon.
Yeah, now with less than 3 to go, it's important RCTIC gets one here. Time's starting to run thin on them a little bit, and you see them trying to get some attack going, but just not any chances there.
Lucky puck break there. A little bit of water behind the net stops the puck up for Kim Johan, and it goes over to Tunkeliya. Tunkeliya tried to drop that one down the right-hand side. It gets its way to Jesse, but a good job by JX Layout. He wraps that one around to Limbe. Limbe gets bumped off of the puck, but JX Layout's there to help out. Kim Johan holds it in. Down low, Pursuti looks out front for Jesse, but nobody home. Here's Naiku as he just wraps that one around. 1 minute to go in the third period. Nipsui throws a puck up and it hits a bucket. Puck's going to be held in by a lonely bucket, but it's gone the other way. Limbe over to Yuryu, and what a save by Finsere. As that could have been the dagger. Remember that one if RCTIC comes back. Naiku in the right-hand corner, battling. Yuryu trying to help him out, but Pursuti comes up with the puck, and it's going to be moved out here for RCTIC. Tunkeliya over the line, 25 seconds to go. Tries to move that one down low. It's poke checked off. But a good job by Mikax to hold it in. RCTIC has to get this puck. They try and throw it out front, but JX Layout, he can't get it all the way out. But Mikax can hold it in. Goes over to Kim Johan, and he just throws it over the bench, and that could be crucial here for RCTIC.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. And now we talked about the face-off percentages for Yuryu and Jesse being very similar. This is the biggest face-off of the game right here. If RCTIC doesn't win this, game could essentially be over, so a must-win for Jesse.
As the lone soldiers that had the prediction for RCTIC are gonna take it, as it was a 90-10 prediction. RCTIC comes out with a huge win, feeding RCTIC only their third regulation loss of the season, and that is a statement win from the boys in blue.
How about the payout of channel points for some of our 10% that win in favor of RCTIC? And it was on this goal that won them the game. The league's leading goal scorer in Limbe sniped it past Finsere. And you know, Tegan, we kind of talked about RCTIC a little bit, you know, having a tough task against RCTIC, who had only lost 2 regulation games coming in. Now, RCTIC gives them the third, and, you know, maybe it's starting to get on a little bit of a hot streak. They came in winning 3 straight games. This is number 4. Maybe none bigger than a win against a top team like they just got right there.
That goal came from RCTIC to open the scoring, Brandon. It looked like it was going to be possibly a blowout. Everything was going right for RCTIC. What do you think turned around here for RCTIC to just put it such a demanding game in the second and third period to win?
Oh, I don't think you look much further than the defensive play from RCTIC. In the first couple of minutes, we saw RCTIC go in, get right into the offensive zone, draw a power play after they already had one scoring chance, and then score on the power play that they drew. And that was all in the first 4 minutes alone. And it just felt like from that point forward, RCTIC really did a good job just settling down and locking things in defensively. When you're able to play good defense, it sparks that good offense. You're able to let some of that scoring power flourish a little bit, and they were able to do that and take advantage. We saw them get into the offensive zone, get some good opportunities, and really test Finsere a little bit, which against a team like RCTIC, that, like we said, best goals allowed per game in the league coming in, that's really impressive. That is no small feat. So I think the defensive play really is what powered them through. They were able to push that forward, even when RCTIC did try to push back a little bit, and it got them this 2-1 win. So a big win for RCTIC to get those 2 points. And like we said, they came in winning 3 straight. They were 6-1-3 in their last 10 games. Now it's 4 straight. It's against the top team in the league. They went on a big run last season to put them through. Maybe this is the one that they were looking for again this season.
Team defense, I think, Brandon, is a definition of Arctic's win in this game. They had their wingers in Limbe not only scoring goals, but coming back and helping out in the defensive zone, which was crucial. I'm curious if Arctic's going to be able to go 5 straight against this amazing reality check team, or if reality check will put them in check. We'll find out after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back, guys. Our final game of the evening here at Sports Gamer GG in the ECL Pro. I am Tegan, it's King Line Blair. He is Brandon, B Major Bigsby, and well, it has been a battle here between Arctic and Reality Check. Reality Check, the favorite to win these 2 games, but it was a little bit of an upset, wasn't it, Brandon?
Yeah, and it's almost feeling like it feels weird a little bit to be covering an Arctic game and consider them an underdog, right? They came in the season with so many expectations. They've been solid this season, and they could be even a little bit better than what they are. They've lost a lot of close games, 7 overtime losses. That's more losses than what either Reality Check or even Arctic themselves have regulation losses, but yet here they are in the thick of a playoff race, while Reality Check, just like last season, dominant as ever in holding that one spot with Forest. But like you said, they came in, did their job, played spectacularly, and earned themselves 2 points, a big 2 points in the standings for them. Now, we'll see if they can do it again, but you have to figure if they play like they did there in that first game, they have a pretty good chance to do it.
And some gorgeous goals in that game, and I think that maybe Limbe might be clipping his and sending it in and possibly trying to get some IQ fuel here, Brandon.
And I don't blame him. If you have some NHL 22 clips that you would like to maybe submit and win a little bit of something for yourselves in the process, make sure to do hashtag eHockeyMoments on either Twitter or Instagram and tag at SportsGamerGG for your chance to win yourself some cans of IQ Fuel. It's going to be so interesting to see all of these amazing plays that we've seen throughout the years. Maybe even some funny plays. They don't have to be the sick goals or the sick plays or the sick saves. Maybe just a play that made everybody laugh and gave a bit of a smile on your face, and you can maybe win yourself a chance to get a nice prize. So it's going to be fun to see some of the plays that come out of that some people submit.
And you guys will be able to catch more great hockey tomorrow, as you'll be able to join Tugi and Sin for some amazing games in the ECL Elite at ZSC Esports and IQ and H-Reds going against Havu Gaming and 1945 Central European Time. But first, we've got our game number 2 from Arctic and Reality Check. Arctic in the dark jerseys, Reality Check in the light jerseys. You see your respective lineups in the bottom right and left hand corner of your screen. Game number 1 going to Arctic. Only Reality Check's 3rd regulation loss here in the ECL Pro at Sports Gamer GG. Kim Johan drops that one down to Pursuity, but he's a step offside.
And it's going to be kind of interesting with game 1. Obviously, Reality Check got off to such a rapid fire start to where it looked like they were going to be in firm control of that game, but then Arctic kind of just got back on their feet and led things through. Now, if you're Reality Check, you kind of have to wonder, what can we do now that the slate is clean? Can we maybe get something without that quick start and maybe get that momentum going in the middle of the game instead of at the beginning of it? Because Arctic, playing the way they have been, going to be tough.
Here's Yuryu. What a pass to Naiku! That sauce was like some Kovalan Lakritsi back door, and what a goal!
Press the record button and put in hashtag eHockeyMoments for that one. That was a great play there from Arctic, and it's exactly what we needed there if you're Arctic and you're the blue and black. You kind of talked about how they didn't start out that fast in game 1. Well, they started out fast here in game 2. The first 4 minutes, they get the opening goal, and it's 1-0 just like that.
Just like that, Arctic keeps the sleigh moving. As that puck's going to be brought back by Reality Check, looking to just reset and play their game, and I think that's what they haven't been doing. It's been all Arctic's game. They need to slow things down and play how they're used to. What got them to the head of the standings? It's Naiku, the goal scorer. Puts that one back around behind the net to JX Leo, and it's going to be worked out here for Arctic. 1-0 early in the first period. Pursuity comes in. Mr. Nipsili takes it away. Oh, stick handling in a phone booth. Gets away easily there, and over to Naiku. Naiku, he can't thread the needle. Jesse picks that one off and gets a retrieval pass, but it's back over to Pursuti, who can't connect with Jesse once again. And the puck's held by RCTIC behind the goal line, trying to move that out. Good forward check here, though, by RCTIC as they try to wrap that one around him. Tunkelia picks it off the stick of Pursuti, though. Tunkelia back to Meecox. Meecox to Tunkelia. Moves that one down low to Jesse and just not able to get that puck out front. The defense again of RCTIC being very good here, Brandon, as that one sent a little too far down, but no icing on the play. Kim Johan works the puck out, gives that one away to Naiku. Good read getting into that lane as Limbe with it behind the net, but he's forced off of the puck. And Jesse comes back to help out, but look at the forward check from Yuryu. Sees all over to Kim Johan, makes him make a mistake, and the puck's back to the point. Back down to Yuryu. Naiku in the corner, battling. RCTIC comes up with it. It's going to be Yuryu. He tries to bring it all the way out front, but he can't get a shot off. And Kim Johan gets it to Pursuti, and the puck's out finally. Here's Jesse. Tried to toe drag around the defender, which was Yuryu, actually, the centerman. And a great job by him to stand in the lane. Tunkelia coming in. They dump that puck in. Jesse trying to get first onto that puck, but it's going to be Mr. Nipsuli, who works it out for RCTIC up the left-hand side. Brandon, these teams are all over each other on the forward check. It doesn't matter if it's the offensive zone, defensive zone, or neutral zone. Everybody is forcing the puck right now.
Yeah, it's like just watching bees fly around a hive right now. It's just everyone everywhere. The aggression really ramped up here in this game, especially from RCTIC. You kind of saw them last time using the trap, and a little bit from the same thing from Reality Check this time. You're seeing that aggression ramped up a little bit, as you see it even there, right there from Reality Check.
It's all gas, no breaks in this game. Is look at even the defense. Kim Johan comes down and makes a play, but it's going to be 2-on-1 the other way. Limbe with Naiku. He stops up trying to get around the defender. He can't do that, as that was Tunkelia coming back to help out for Reality Check, as we see a winger back helping out on D. Kim Johan takes that away. He's going to try and get an odd man rush ahead for Reality Check. It's moved up to Pursuti. Pursuti down the left-hand side. He stops up, goes back to Kim Johan. Shot on, an easy save for Houston Cisco. Good job by Tunkelia to hold it in, and the wraparound's complete. What a goal as Tunkelia feeds Jesse, and Jesse wraps that around Houston Cisco.
And how about that response from Reality Check? We talked about how this game has been fast and furious. Well, it has continued, and it's a goal for Reality Check from Jesse on the wraparound. And, you know, you never know what's going to happen in a game like this. The forechecks and the turnovers happening from that. But, you know, Reality Check, a much-needed goal here late in the first period. We talk about this late period goals. That one tied it up here for the white and yellow.
Left-hand side goes to Limbe. Limbe rings it around behind the net to Naiku, goes back to the point. 1-1 game here, a late goal for Reality Check, and we know those late goals can swing momentum in this game, but what an aggressive and exciting first period we've been dealt here, Brandon.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to put that. As you see the opening goal again from Naiku on your screens, just 4 minutes in to this game, but I think you have to give Reality Check, because that was a beautiful sauce pass that we saw, but you have to give credit to Reality Check, their ability to respond with less than a minute left in the game. And you have to remember, they scored that one goal in game one about 4 minutes in, just like RCTIC did in this game, and they never scored again. So that was their first goal in about 75 in-game minutes. So to be able to break that schneid and get one on the board late in the first period to tie it up, absolutely huge for their chances, and kind of gives that momentum back on their side.
As we get a look at that feed, it's like he's just throwing him Wilhelm sausages to eat. He was hungry. He buried that one. What a pass and what a goal. And then you see Tunkelia team up with Jesse on the wraparound, and look at how close Houston Cisco was.
I was just about to say that there, Lime. You took the words right out of my mind. I mean, just a second later, and that is a save. We're talking about a 1-0 lead for RCTIC, but it just goes to show you that just that one little second of hesitation can make the difference between a goal and a save. We saw that right there in Reality Check, tied 1-1 now in the second because of that.
So it's back to period number 2 here. Game number 2, RCTIC 1, game number 1. You see your respective lineups in the bottom right left-hand corner of your screen here at the ECL Pro at SportsGamer GG. RCTIC against Reality Check. As that one's tipped on by RCTIC, and I believe that one went off the post. Naiku trying to bring it out in front, but can't connect. There's too many Reality Check players there, but you're still seeing the aggression here, Brandon. It is fierce as that puck's going to be turned over and brought into Jesse. Jesse for reality check. Has a bit of space. You haven't seen that much in this game, and Houston Cisco has to make a big save.
Yeah, the aggression has been relentless from both of these two sides. The forecheck is all over the place. There's been turnovers, and not from a lack of trying to make clean passes. It's just there's been a man or two in your face every single time when you have the puck on your stick.
That shot is going to be put on. Houston Cisco swallows it up, and he's just going to hold on to it and get another face-off, trusting his centerman in Yuryu to win that against Jesse.
Can't say I blame him. We talked about the face-offs being so even, so this is a chance to maybe see how that kind of impacts itself again here.
Face-off is won. Back to JX Leote, rings it around to his partner, and we're going to see an odd man rush here. Limbe coming up the ice 3-on-2, but it's turned over to Jesse. Good back check by Reality Check, and they're just going to slow the game down. As I believe Reality Check plays a better game when it's slowed down, and RCTIC is a little bit better when it's very aggressive, like we've seen in periods 2 and 3 of Game 1, Brandon, and period 1 of here in Game 2.
Yeah, and I think that's what was a big reason they won Game 1. Reality Check, when they were able to kind of just lock things down defensively and him Arctic in their own zone, that's when they saw that one goal and saw a lot of their success. But when Arctic was actually able to pick up the pace a little bit and stop Reality Check from getting offensive opportunities, all of a sudden, Arctic was the one in the offensive zone getting those chances, really making Reality Check have to work in their own zone.
Moved out front, Pursuti picks that off. A good job by the winger coming back and helping out the D. As Tunkelia tried to ring that around to Pursuti. It didn't connect, but it's held in by Reality Check. Behind the net is Tunkelia, battling with it with JX layout, but Pursuti comes in to help out. And Limbe gets it ahead. And we're going to see a power play here, as that was a little bit of a cluster in the neutral zone, and it ends up being a power play.
Yeah, we saw Arctic get one power play in the first game. They didn't take advantage of it in terms of scoring, but it did give them some offensive momentum, and they looked pretty good on it, never allowing Reality Check to really clear it out of their own zone. They were the #1 power play in their group, coming in at 34.88%. They look strong in their first. We'll see if they can maybe use the second one and get a goal here to take the lead.
Kim Johan throws that over the head of Mr. Nipsili. He's got to go all the way back behind the goal line to pick it up, and the puck's moved up the left-hand side. Limbe. Back to Mr. Nipsili. Here he comes down. Nice move as he stops up and goes back to JX layout. Shoots, and it goes just wide. Limbe. Back to Nipsili. Back to Limbe. Limbe shoots, and a big blocker save as he's trying to snipe that short side shot. As he had it on the glove side in game number 1. Tries short side game number 2. And good penalty kill here by Reality Check, because that's what they're known for, Brandon.
Yeah, they're a great PK. Third best in their group. They're showing why right here. Let's see if they can keep it up.
It's going to be dumped all the way down as we're halfway through game number 2. A little bit of deja vu as the 1-1 first half of the game continues, but it's going to be carried out here by Reality Check. Pursuti puts one on, it's wide. And the puck's brought out by Yuryu. Over to Limbe. Limbe trying to get that over to the right D there. JX layout as he was activating from the point, but Tunkelia puts it off the inside of the skate of Finseri, and he had to be sharp there.
Oh, that's always so scary if you're a goalie seeing a play like that. But Vincere was right where he needed to be to make sure that nothing disastrous happened. The only thing, though, now is that Arctic does get an offensive zone faceoff and a chance to maybe get something going on the possession.
Mikax moves that one ahead. Good job by JX layout to take the puck back, and he goes up the right-hand side to Naiku, the lone goal scorer here for Arctic. And Arctic just plays that back down into their own zone. So it's back to trap hockey here, Brandon, as you notice how it's changed. As Mr. Nipsili comes up, goes over to the right-hand side. JX layout. Brings it down the boards, goes behind the net to Yuryu. He's bumped off of the puck. Kim Johan goes over to Mikax. And he brings it up on the break. A good pass through to Tunkelia. Looking back door for Pursuti, but it was a step behind him, and he couldn't complete the one-timer. Pursuti looking to wrap that around, looking to go around the goaltender, but he couldn't connect. There's Pursuti on the right-hand side, back to the point to Mikax, who runs it down low to Jesse. Jesse back down low to Pursuti, the wraparound not complete, and 2 big saves by Houston Cisco. And Yuryu works it up for Arctic. They're over the line, no offside. Limbe trying to bring that all the way through, and great job by Pursuti coming down to help out, but it's tipped on a keep-in from the line by Limbe, and Arctic scores.
And that's the thing about Limbe. He can make a goal pretty or he can make a goal count. He does the latter right there. And, like we said, the goals don't always have to be fancy. It don't always have to be a highlight play. Sometimes it's just a matter of putting the puck on net, being in the right place to get yourself a second chance or a tip. And Limbe did so right there. So, we talked about the game mirroring each other a little bit from game one. A 2-1 lead for Arctic. That was enough to win them the first game. We'll see if they can hold on and make it enough to win them game two as well.
And how about that keep in from Mr. Nipsuli at the line there, Brandon? To notice that Pursuti was under pressure. He tried to get it out, and it's held in. The shot's taken, and we see a big goal from Arctic late in the period once again.
I agree. It's a great play from Nipsuli, and he's a guy that we kind of talked about during the Open. He came from a Fediestad BK team last season that made the semifinals, lost to Frölunda. So not only is he a great player for this Arctic team, but he has experience on the elite level. So he showed that a little bit there with a great play here against Reality Check.
So Reality Check, you're right, Brandon. The mirror is happening once again. We'll see if Reality Check can change that as we have a defensive zone face-off for them. Face-off is won, though, by Arctic and taken away. Good job by Kim Johan on D. So Mr. Nipsuli says, anything you can do, I can do better, and turns that one over and goes it over to Naiku. He stops up, shoots, and that one carries on wide. Kim Johan picks that up. He's just going to clear that one out. He ends up hitting his own player there, Pursuti, and they'll go to the dressing room and have a chat about what they have to do in the next period.
Yeah, and now if you're Reality Check, you're kind of starting to feel a little bit skittish about things because obviously in the first game, you only scored one goal. Right now, only one goal as well. So Arctic seeming to kind of have their number here through the first 5 periods, and if they can keep playing the way they're playing, Tegan, you absolutely like their chances. They've been relentless on the forecheck when they've had to kind of be a little bit more aggressive, but they've also shown that ability to be able to put all 5 back on the blue line, park it there, and not let Reality Check beat past them. So we're seeing a little bit of everything from Arctic, and you combine that with a couple of goals they've gotten, they look good so far. We'll see if Reality Check can find a response, but now the tables have kind of turned. It looks like Reality Check are the ones going to have to maybe define expectations a little bit.
What a goal that was, as that one just goes over the blocker and the hold in at the line, Brandon. It's pretty interesting to see how the game has changed. It started out being very aggressive. We didn't get a turnover, or we did not get a turnover every 5 seconds. The puck was back and forth. It was wild, and it's kind of slowed down into more trap hockey as we start period number 3 here at Sports Gamer GG in the ECL Pro Division. Reality Check against Arctic. You see your respective lineups in the bottom left and right hand corner of your screen, with Reality Check in white, Arctic in the dark jerseys going up ice. 2-1 game here as Arctic did win game number 1. Reality Check needs a goal, and they need it early, but not if Limbe has anything to say about it, as he's going to bring it out front, but the puck is stolen by Meacox. Good defense by Reality Check. That puck's moved up to Toon Kellia. Pop loose at the line. Meacox just dumps that one in and says, boys, go get it. Naiku on the right-hand side. Poke checked off. Shot out front, goes off a body and back to the point. Kim Johan trying to keep that puck in, and does. Jesse down to Toon Kellia. Picked off by Limbe, and it's worked out the other way for Arctic. Arctic comes in the right-hand side on the dump in, trying to poke that one loose as Toon Kellia. He does and gets it ahead to Pursuti, who goes back to him. Toon Kellia into the zone. Stops up, rings it around down low to Pursuti, as they love to go back and forth to each other. Finds Jesse behind the net in the office. Can't get it out past Yuryu. That puck's going to be poke checked off and fought for in the right-hand corner. Who's going to come up with it? It's going to be Reality Check. Meacox looking to go behind the net. Is picked off by Kim Johan. Here he gets it back to the point. No, he doesn't. Limbe. He's going to beat him there. Limbe all alone, but a great job by Kim Johan to get the poke check off. Kim Johan throws that one into the middle. Jesse holding on. It pops loose, and a great shot by Toon Kellia, trying to catch Houston Cisco sleeping, but not able to. Here's Pursuti behind the goal line, looking for the wraparound. How they got their first goal was Toon Kellia. A little role reversal there, but not able to find the back of the net. Puck thrown out front. It goes through a bunch of bodies. Finally held on by Arctic. And JX Layout tries to clear, and Kim Johan trying to keep it in at the line, but no can do.
And Lyman, it may not feel like it, but we're already halfway through this third period. There's been so much action happening, and you kind of feel now that Arctic, they aren't getting off of the gas pedal a little bit here, but this advantages to them. They're up by 1. They've played the trap game a little bit well. Obviously, you're not comfortable with a 1-goal lead, but you kind of wonder if maybe they try to slow things down just a little bit and make Reality Check get past them.
As they score, Naiku comes in and just lets one fly from inside the line with a hope and a prayer, and it's in the back of the net.
And how about that? So not only do they not put their foot off the gas pedal, but they want to put one more on the board as well. A 3-1 lead over Reality Check. And we kind of talked about how maybe they start to pull back a little bit and play that trap game. Now they can really do that. Not up 1, but up 2. Reality Check has a lot of work cut out for them to try to make this comeback happen with 9 minutes to go.
Around behind the net, Mr. Nipsui has it poke checked off his stick. It goes up the left-hand side to Limbe. Poke checked off. Good job by Reality Check to keep it in. Toon Kelly trying to throw that one out front. It goes off the side of the net. It's sitting loose there. Who's going to come up with it? Yuryu finally does for Arctic. Trying to throw it up the left-hand side and can't. Fierce battle in the left-hand corner. Jesse out front, but it can't connect. And Yuryu trying to get it ahead to Limbe, and Kim Yohan with the pickoff throws it in deep. And the aggression comes 4 Reality Check players in deep, and it could cost him. Limbe the other way. He's got Naiku, but a great play by the lone defender, Mikax. Wow. As the aggression pours out from Reality Check, Kim Yohan in on the left-hand side, and there's a step offside.
You know, I think you have to give a lot of credit to Arctic because, you know, you kind of get the feel, Tegan, that Reality Check for the first time, maybe all season, they're a little uncomfortable in this game. You've seen a few offsides. You haven't really had them break out the puck all that cleanly, and they haven't had many opportunities here in these last couple of games either. So, despite the aggression, it just feels like Reality Check not really settled in, and Arctic getting them a little bit out of their comfort zone so far.
It brings that one around, trying to catch Reality Check on another odd man rush, but this time it's Kim Yohan back making the great defensive play. Jesse over to Mikax. Back to Jesse. Jesse just dumps that one in. Good job there by JX layout, but the forecheck is strong. Naiku has 3 defenders on him. They come and they score! It's a 1-goal game. Great forecheck by Reality Check, and it ends up on the stick of Jesse, and he makes no mistake.
Yeah, and Arctic might have wanted to have Jesse's goal, but hey, man, that's exactly what Reality Check needed. A few minutes to go, down by 2, and they find a way to cut the deficit in half. And just like that, Reality Check saying, not so fast, we're still in this thing. They have 2:44 to try to find one more, but that's exactly what they needed to make their comeback chances more realistic.
That leads the difference to Arctic. They could go down and just set up in the offensive zone, Brandon. 2 times there, they had 2-on-1s. They tried to make something happen instead of slowing things down, and it ends up costing them a goal with great defensive plays, 1 from Kim Yohan and 1 from Mikax. So remember that if we see another goal here, as that one goes off of the body of Toon Kelly and almost in. Puck's loose out front, but it doesn't find anybody from Reality Check, and it's over to the left-hand side. Kim Yohan just sauces it into the middle with a 200 IQ defensive play. He keeps it into the line, goes down to Pursuti. It's out front. Jesse with a swing and a miss. It's on the right-hand side. Toon Kelly keeps it in. Gets it in the middle to Jesse. It's poke checked off his stick, and Kim Yohan keeps it into the line. Down low to Pursuti. Pursuti, oh no! An errant pass all the way back down into Reality Check territory with 30 seconds left on the clock. Kim Yohan up the left-hand side, back over to Mikax. They're trying to get in. Oh no, they have to turn back around, but it goes over to Jesse. Jesse has it poke checked off his stick. Great defense by Arctic at the line. Kim Yohan now bringing it in the left-hand side, looking to dump it in. It's off a body under the stick. Pursuti. Jesse shot on, and a great save by Houston Cisco as he flashes the leather with 10 seconds on the clock.
I have to be honest with you, I respect Arctic's aggressiveness, but I mean, you kind of have to wonder why they don't just back up here, but you have to respect it. A big face-off here in the defensive zone for them.
Kim Yohan with a shot, and Houston Cisco with another big save.
And here we are, right back where we were in game 1. We talked about those games mirroring with this one, and here we are, same situation. Offensive zone face-off, a must-win for Jesse. Can he make it happen for Reality Check?
Hold, it's tied up. Mikax with the shot is going to be blocked by the winger. It's back to Mikax. He just throws one on. It's loose up front, and Kim Yohan can't get it soon enough. 2 huge wins in the ECL Pro for Arctic as they take down Goliath in Reality Check.
And how about that, Tegan? Arctic getting 4 out of 4 points when many may have thought they would have gotten none coming in. They snag huge points, skyrocket their way up the standings, and might have just gotten the 2 biggest wins of their spring campaign. That is absolutely huge for them. much deserved. And, you know, I have to admit, I kind of questioned how aggressive they were getting at the end of that game, but they found a way to pull out the win. Credit Reality Check's efforts at the end, but this is about RCTIC and the way they pulled this one out. What a way to take out the best team in the league this season in Reality Check, going 4 out of 4 in the standings today.
Hard work and resilience gets RCTIC 2 huge wins, Brandon, and I have to say that third goal is so crucial now that we look at it as just a shot on, as we see it on our screen there from just inside the line, is going to be the game winner as RCTIC wins this one 3-2.
Yeah, and you know, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, didn't get overly in depth about it, but RCTIC came into this game. They were 6-1-3 in their last 10 on a 3-game winning streak. And last season, what kind of helped them reach their way onto that big run is that they had a large winning streak. Interestingly enough, we kind of dusted off the history books a little bit. They had a 14-game streak where they had points in every single one of those games. So it's one of those things to where they've kind of shown that they can get on these hot streaks before. Now, that 3-game winning streak becomes 5. You kind of wonder now, can RCTIC maybe find a way to repeat history from last season, get hot towards the end of the season, and then carry that through the playoffs? So you've seen them do it once. Maybe 2 wins against the best team and arguably the hottest team in the league could find their way to do that. And maybe now RCTIC could be seen as one of the hottest teams in the league going into next week.
Brandon, some things I think we see in regular hockey, European hockey, North American hockey, is that the teams that win cups are the teams that are playing playoff hockey right from the middle of the season. And, you know, you have RCTIC, whose life is on the line here basically every game they play. And that is the drive you need to get yourself into these wins.
Absolutely. And, you know, especially when you're in a group that is so tight. It's funny with RCTIC because they've been in a weird spot this season. They are in such a tight division and they've lost a lot of close games. They've lost 7 overtime games. I'm looking back at my notes, but they're 4-7-1. No. I'm going back looking at my notes, but yeah, they're a negative record in games that have been decided by 1 goal. So it's kind of one of those things to where they've lost a lot of close games. They're in a really tight division. You reverse a few of those scores, they're maybe kind of competing with Reality Check for that number 1 spot. So for them to be able to kind of find form a little bit late in the season, that bodes really, really well for them. And to be able to do that against a hot team and a team that is leading the league in terms of points, so big for their chances. While now for Reality Check, we've talked about their dominance. They've lost 4 of their last 6. So don't want to get hot too early either. So they might want to find a way to kind of turn that tide around because most of their games have been played. They only have, I believe, 8 more games remaining in the season, so they might want to start to get things together a little bit and find form because that 13-game winning streak they had early, that 20-0-2 record they had early, will mean nothing in 2 weeks. It's about how you're playing going into the playoffs. It's about the form that you have in the last few weeks of the season. If they don't right the ship here soon, might be a bit of an upset alert, which is something I know they do not want, considering that they already have a chip on their shoulder, losing in the finals to Yippee Fosco last season.
Exactly right, Brandon. And how about that saucer pass to start things off with a huge goal by Naiku? That could have been entered in to e-hockey moments, as you even threw the hashtag out. I wonder if they'll be clipping that. And you guys can too, as you guys can enter your amazing moments, funny moments, hilarious party laughs, any sort of clips here. Brandon, why don't you let them know?
Yeah, make sure you enter hashtag eHockeyMoments on either Twitter or Instagram, and also tag at SportsGamerGG to include any plays you have, whether it be fun plays, sick goals, big saves, big hits, whatever you got. You think it's fun, you think it's cool, make sure to throw in that hashtag eHockeyMoments and a tag at SportsGamerGG to give yourself a chance to win an IQ Fuel can. We're going to be giving these away for a minute, so we're going to have some chances for some of your best plays to maybe get you a little bit of reward as well. And obviously I have to thank IQ Fuel for their participation in this, and always so fun to see the community be able to participate and let their big plays be shared around the community.
And if you want to share those big plays, we might have some big plays in the e-hockey tour by Wilhelm coming up, Brendan.
That is right. We have our e-hockey tour presented and sponsored by Wilhelm coming up. 2 to 4 players. Anyone that is in the light division or lower or not signed up for the ECL is eligible for this tournament. So, you talked about those hashtag e-hockey moments. Maybe you can get a few of your own here in the Wilhelm e-hockey tour. So make sure you go to sportsgamer.gg, sign yourself up. 2 to 4 players, and once again, a 10,000 euro prize pool. So not only a chance to have some fun, not only a chance to compete, but a chance to win yourself a nice prize pool as well. And as you can see, we're going to have our final live in Helsinki as well. So much going on here at sportsgamer.gg. Amazing to see the things that are happening behind the scenes, and so fun, not just to see it on the 6 side, but on the 3 side as well, which, Tegan, I know you're a big fan of 3s.
Hey, that is my bread and butter, Brandon, and there's nothing better than Sports Gamer GG. They do it all, and they do it the best here with our producers behind the scenes, and everybody here at Sports Gamer GG is just class acts all around, Brandon. And speaking about class acts, how about this RCTIC team that is put on a pretty good show here? We actually had both of the underdog teams winning tonight.
Yeah, Powerhouse getting 3 out of 4 points, and they might have been seen as a bit of an underdog coming in against Visu, and then RCTIC, a team that, as we mentioned, it's not often you'll talk about them being in the underdog role, but they obviously seem to fill it quite well. They go against Reality Check, win, look great doing it, and collect 4 out of 4 points, and we'll see how that maybe changes the standings here in a few moments. But, talking about RCTIC, like we said, they're a team that could maybe have their fortunes a little better. I messed up the stat earlier, but I finally got it. 4-4-7 this season in 1-goal games. So you could easily flip a few of those losses around. They'd maybe be competing with Reality Check for that 1 spot. But to be able to get going late in the season how they are, 5 straight wins, maybe this is what they need to kind of turn their fortunes around and get things going here, as we're just 2 weeks away from the start of the playoffs. So it's important to get that form going, like you said earlier. Maybe RCTIC is doing that just the right time.
Right, Brandon, is after tonight, RCTIC would actually have almost the exact same amount of points if they turned those 7 points into 14 and won those 1-goal games in overtime. So you're exactly right. And let's have a look around the league, as we do have playoff implications happening all over here. And let's take a look at these latest results, Brandon.
Yeah, and you're kind of seeing a lot of teams and results coming in, and one that really sticks out to me is Djurgården losing both to Totoro, a team that was on the outside looking in, coming into this series and into this day. They drop all 4 potential points. So some of those teams that were in 8th and 9th, that is a big help to them, as Djurgården, who got relegated from Elite last season, having a bit of a disappointing run so far, and not a lot of time for them to turn things around, as they have more games played than any team in their group. And then you look at some of the other results, Aho beating Yoku in both of their games, and then Geeks Energy Esports winning their 1 game against Morta IK. And then one more result that sticks out to me, Nemesis beat Hawaii Hockey in both. That was a 9 seed in their group as well. So some of the teams that were outside looking in and had a chance to maybe make up some ground, failing to do so far. So if you're some of those teams that were on the left side of the board, on the bottom part of that board, you had a pretty good day there.
All right. Well, now that we've had a look at how things have jumped around, we have a lot of Group 2 results entered in. Let's have a look at the standings over there in Group 2 and see if anybody's moved around there, Brennan.
Yeah, and it looks like we did get that Powerhouse and Visu game 2 put in. So Powerhouse is at that 4 spot, with Visu being at the 5. And, it's kind of fun because, like we said, it's such a tight playoff race, really from about 3 or 4 on down, that you never really know what's going to happen. And all of these games, so important to win. But I think a team that has to like where they are, 2 teams technically, Renascore at 7, only 18 games played, Be a Pro at 9 with only 16 games played. Having those games in hand with teams ahead of you that have already played a lot of their games, so important, and such a good advantage when you kind of can be able to take advantage of those games, get a few points, and make up that ground to either improve your positioning or even maybe have it be the difference on what gets yourselves into the playoffs. So you kind of see the standings as they are now, but we can go back here in a week's time. We're right back here on Sports Gamer GG, and we could be looking at a few of the teams to the left being on the right, and vice versa.
And how about there's Powerhouse moving ahead of Visu Gaming? There's that 1-point split there, Brandon. They do move ahead, and congratulations to them to taking 4th spot. Let's pop over into Group 1, Brandon. Is what a move! by our friends there in Arctic as they go from 6th place up to 4th.
Yeah, and I know they would have loved for Gordon to have beaten Torrid in 2 of their games because it would have moved them all the way up to 3rd, but nevertheless, you get 4 out of 4 points, and now, all of a sudden, we were talking about Arctic, maybe if they lost both games, they'd kind of be around 7th for 8th. They're only 4 points out of 2nd place with Honda HC, so it kind of just goes to show you how quickly things can shift, and Arctic, they started out a little bit slower, like we said. They've lost a few close games, but just like last season, when they caught form at the right time with that large point streak and that large winning streak, they're doing so yet again. It's all about getting hot at the right moment. Arctic is doing that right now. We'll see if they can continue that, but right now, maybe the hottest team in Group 1, and they could very well see themselves right at that number 2 or number 3 spot with the way they're playing.
If they play anything like they did today, Brandon, I assume they're going to be climbing those standings nice and easy. And it was amazing hockey today. It was battling back and forth and great stuff. And if you want to continue to be entertained here at Sports Gamer GG, you can tune in tomorrow as we have ECL Elite going down with ZCS Esports versus IQ first, H-Reds and Havu Gaming second, both with 2 games commentated by the amazing Tugi and Sin at 1945 CEST, Brandon.
Yeah, that's going to be 2 great matchups as well. Both ZSC and IQ, all of these teams, 3 of the 4 other than H-Reds, currently outside the playoff picture. And, obviously we're talking about the playoffs, the playoff picture becoming more important here in the Pro Division. The Elite Division, they're entering that stage as well. ZSC's barely out of the playoffs. Havu have had a slow start. IQ currently, surprisingly enough, they are in the relegation spot. So there are a lot of points to be had, a lot of big points to be had, and some names as well with teams like H-Reds and the Havu playing against one another. So if you love great games, you love great commentary, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 1945 Central European Time. I can guarantee you're not going to be disappointed with those 2 matchups.
You're absolutely right. I'll be there for those games. It's always exciting to watch H-Reds and Havu battle against each other. So tune in tomorrow, like Brandon said. And if you guys would like, tune in again next Tuesday as myself and Brandon will be covering more ECL Pro. Same time, same place, same guys. I got to give a big thank you to Sports Gamer GG and everybody behind the scenes here. Guido is an amazing producer. We're lucky to work with him. And everybody else behind the scenes that puts this on are amazing sponsors in Kovalan Lakritzi, ST Hockey, and Wilhelm. I am Tegan, it's King Line Blair, he is Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and we will see you guys next week.